Good evening, everyone. This is Sunil Kumar Mohanan, and today I am going to discuss one of the another interesting topic of UGC NET exam paper one, teaching and research aptitude. Dear friend, today I shall discuss about the main major aims and objective of education and factor determining educational aspect or educational aims. Dear friend, without delay, let's get started. Uh, if you are prepared NET exam for 2025 December session, then this video will be very helpful for you. Dear friend, let me share the screen so that it will be very helpful for the concept. Okay, the screen has been shown before you that, okay, NTA UGC exams teachers aptitude general paper 1. And our topic is aims and objective of education and factor determining. Okay, factor determining educational aims. So let me share the another slide so that the content will be clearly visible to you, dear friend. Just wait, what is happening? Okay, uh, I'm sorry, something happened. Okay, you can see that, right? So on the screen, I think that the screen is clearly visible to you. The aims and objective of education. What do you mean by aims and objective of education? Let me just about aims and objective of the education first. Aims and objectives of education so that it will be helpful for you. Today's situation, no nation can think of the social or economic development without an abundant supply of highly educated and skilled people. So, can you imagine that without having and without the supply of highly educated and skilled people, it is not possible or not think about the social and economic development of today's scenario. So for that, the issue of function and objective of education is utmost important because all other aspect of education like content, method, discipline, evaluation are most important. So what do you mean by content? Content means to the subject matter. Method means instruction in which method you have been providing your educational activity and which disciplines it may be, okay, humanity or the science, arts, commerce, etc. And evaluation system are the integrated with it. Most of the function of the education became the clear to obvious definition given above. So many people have given their definition on what do you mean by education, right? So here you can see that Habicost and New Garden have given the two important function of educational system. What is that? Number one is a mirror that reflects society as it is, or to be stabilizer of the society. So, what do you mean by education system? So, Habighurst and Newgarden has defined two important function of education. What is that? Number one is the mirror that reflects society as it is, or to be the stabilizer of the society. Number two, an agent of social change or a force directed toward implementing the ideas of society. Right. So two definition or two function of the important of education system. Now George Pene is a sociologist. Sociologist has given the three main functions of education. What are that? The three most important functions of education. One is the assimilation of tradition. Number two, development of new social pattern. And number three, creative and constructive role. So George Pene has given three main functions. What is assimilation of tradition? Number one. Number two, development of new social pattern. And number three, creative and constructive role. Then Durkheim, Emily Durkheim has established the idea of transmission of society's norm and values as the major function of the society. So Durkheim established new idea. That means the transmission of society's norm and value to the major function of education. And what is that? He also acknowledged the education as a training. Education has a training of a specialized role, including adopting some of occupation for livelihood. And education is a source of livelihood. So, as I'm the teacher and I have been teaching you this topic, that means I have been earning something. I just expect from earn something and to lead my life or live my livelihood. So, education is required to perform the function of the cultural transmission, enrichment, acceptance, and formulation, change, and change. And what is this change and reconstruction? So you can see that the function of the education is enrichment. What is that? Cultural transmission and enrichment, acceptance, and formulation, change, and reconstruction. Right? So let me share the another this slide the process why the young generation learns the traditional way of society is called enculturation. So do you know that the new generation young have been learning new thing, the traditional thing of the way of the society is known as enculturation. Enculturation means we have been learning the traditional way of society, and it differ from the society to society. It differ from society to society. That the society of any the Indian society is learning what and American society is learning what. So it is different from okay society to society. That means the education system of Japan, Canada, Russia is different from the education system of India also. So it differ from society to society. Through the education, enculturation is formalized. Enculturation is just a formalized, but actually we have been learning so many things out of these educational activities. Okay, and acculturation. Acculturation is a process through the which a person or a group from one culture come to adopt the practices and values of another culture, and while they still retaining their own distinct culture. So, do you know that the group, a person or a group of person can culture come comes to adopt the practices and values of another culture. Do you know that we have been just learning from foreign culture and foreigner also have been learning of Indian culture. So that the culture can be changed from one person to another person, one group of people to another group of people, and become the important and increasingly the globalized society because education is not confined with the territory of a particular country. It is a globalized society now. The factor determining education. Now, our second term is the factors determining education. What are the factors? What are the factors that can determine the educational aims? Aims, that means what is the aim? How to fulfill our educational goal, objective, and what do we want? And if we want something, and what are that factor determining to reshape our aim? So let me just share. Okay, let me discuss about that. Education is the most planned and purposeful activities. Educational aims are necessary to give a you can see just wait necessary given direction to direction to the unique activities which are determined by the following factor. So I have written to 12 factor here. So you can see that just number one factor is philosophy, number two factor is human nature, number three factor is socio-cultural factor and problems, number four is religious factors, number five political ideologies, number six exploration of knowledge, number seven vocational, number eight self actualization and total development, and number nine harmonious development, number 10 moral and character development, number 11 citizenship, and number 12 education for leisure. So I have written 12 factor which determine the aims of education or educational aim. So I have discussed this Okay, factor detail. You can say that number one factor is philosophy. How philosophy is more important? Philosophy and education are the two side of a coin. So philosophy and education, it is a two side of a coin. So philosophy is the main factor that determines the aim of education. So which one is the main factor? Philosophy is the main factor to determine the aims of education, and education turn to be the best means for propagation of philosophy. So without education, philosophy is meaningless, and without education, philosophy is meaningless, and without philosophy, education is meaningless. So education and philosophy are the two sides of a single coin. You can say that. Then the number 2 point is human nature, and it is closely linked with the philosophy. For example, idealists regarded the unfolding of divine in man as the aim of education. So human nature, it is closely linked with the what philosophy, and the social cultural factors and problems. What are the social cultural factors and problem? Education has to preserve and transmit the cultural heritage and tradition from one generation to another generation. Why it is cultural factor? Because in education has the preserve and transmit. It's preserve the our culture, tradition, and it transmit from one generation to another generation. And it has been starting from the old generation, and it has been flowing to current generation too. And religious factor. What do you mean by religious factor? The ancient India Buddhism emphasized the enculturation and inculcation of the ideas of religion, such as ahimsa and truth, into the prevailing educational system. So, in Buddhism, we have been studying that ahimsa and the truth, and it is prevailing the education system till today, right? Then move to the another point, another factor, the political ideology. The education aims to the democratic politic systems aim to quite different from that of an autocratic political setup. So education and the democratic political system and autocratic political system are totally different. Right? The political ideology. In which ideology we are? We are in India. We have been following the political democratic political system, but in some country also autocratic political system are also there, so that it is totally different from each other. So education aim of it, we are not okay reading about the Indian system of education. We have been studying the education system of whole world, right? So it is different from one political system to another political system. Okay. Number 6, the exploration of knowledge. Through education we can explore our knowledge. Education must be the good interpersonal relationship and healthy adjustment in life, modification of behavior and self awareness, and so social growth, and it also the source of happiness. Do you know that, dear friend, the exploration of knowledge, that means knowledge we uh, interpersonal relationship, that one will get good education, that how he maintain the relationship with other. Okay, he may be the rich, poor, does not matter. That how to build the good relationship, how to modification of our behavior, different aspect, and social growth. Oh, those educated people always think about the growth of the society, and stay always be happiness. And vocational education should be the prepare the child to earn the livelihood and make him self-sufficient. So if we get the education, then we will get aware that how to earn money, how to earn our livelihood. So education provides us. Then 8 number factor is self actualization and total development. So, what do you mean by that self-actualization? That means education should help the person to become what he has to become according to his or her individual potential. So, after obtaining good quality education, we can just adjust I have a lot of potentiality. I have the potentiality and I have to show the potentiality before you and what is becoming in my life. So education must have this what is that self actualization and total development education provide this, and the education aims to the total development of an individual and include the physical, mental, emotional, social and spiritual development. Education provide you the physical development, mental development, emotional development, social and spiritual development, right? Another point is that number nine, harmonious development. Mahatma Gandhi, according to Mahatma Gandhi, you can say that Mahatma Gandhi emphasized the aim of education very much when he said, by education we means and all around growing out of the best of in child and man body, mind and spirit. So from this definition of Mahatma Gandhi, one can learn that harmonious development, that means by education we means all round growing out of the best in child, man body, mind and spirit. That means physical, mental, and psychological aspect. You can see that number 10, the moral and character development. Moral and character development means what, dear friend? You can see that some educationalists consider these as the supreme aim of education. Moral development and character development is the supreme development of education, supreme aim and objective of education. Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer emphasized that the education must enable the child to cultivate the moral values and virtues such as truthfulness, goodness, purity, courage, reverence, and honesty. So, what do you mean with that? Harvard Spencer emphasizes the education must be enable child to cultivate. What is that? What should he cultivate? Moral values. Moral values and virtues such as truthfulness, goodness, purity, courage, reverence, and honesty. And number 11 point or factor is citizenship. As a member of the society, a student should be conscious about his or her duties, function, and obligation toward society. So the good citizen must have the knowledge and what is his or her duty, what is the function, what is obligation toward the society. The society have been providing lot to us, so that it is our duty and responsibility to develop our society, right? And the final objective is that educational leisure. Leisure means what? It is the time which is utilized for enjoyment and recreation, and it is needed to keep up rest and regain energy. We have to take rest and regain the energy. And leisure, if wisely used, given part to the physical and mental balance. And if we do not take leisure, then our physical and mental development cannot be happen or cannot happen. And artistic, moral, and aesthetic development can be inspired through what? Inspired through, you can say that beneficial use of leisure, time and efficient in both economic and social factor. Dear friend, so aesthetic, moral, and aesthetic development can be inspired through the beneficial use of leisure time. If you do not know that how to use your leisure time, then your efficiency, your mind or your body cannot function well. In order to regain energy and set up our well-being, so leisure is most important, and education provide this thing. Then some specified aims of education in Indian context. We are going to just discuss the Indian context, that when India become free, where there was need to reorientation and reconstruction of all our existing society, political and educational system, right? So education system in order to the meet the socio-economic, okay, just wait, sorry, socio-economic, political, educational need of the country. So after getting free from British rule, our we need reorientation and reconstruction of our educational system because of social, economic, political, and educational need of the country. And since independence, various committees and commission were appointed to lay down the aim and objective of educational India. So you can see that what are that committee and objective. Now, number one is University Education Commission in 1948 was chaired by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Second committee, education, okay, Secondary Education Commission of 1952 and 53 was headed by Dr. Murlidhar as its chairperson. And third number, education, okay, National Education Committee was set up under Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan as its chairperson. And number four, Kothari Education Commission, which was 1964 to 66, and other policy also, National Educational Policy in 1986 specified the following aims and objective of our education system. Dear friend, the all-round, okay, what are that aims and objective of education in National Education Policy in 1986? Number one, all-round material and spiritual development of all people. Number two, cultural orientation and development of interest in Indian culture. Number three, scientific temperament. Number four, national cohesion. That means being united and unity. Okay. And number five, independence of mind and spirit, furthering the rules of socialism, secularism, and democracy. The number six, manpower development of different level of economy. Number seven, fostering research in all areas of development. Number eight, education of equity. So these were the aims and objectives of National Education Policy 1986, right? So thank you for watching this video. I hope that this video may have provided you lot of information about the aims and objective of education. Factor determine the aim and objective of education. Thank you. Please kindly subscribe this channel and like, comment, share. Right? Okay. All the best.